Transportation in Minecraft is pretty unbalanced. I think we all know that, but most players don't realize that actually this is intentional by Mojang. Most players think the Electra is too overpowered and renders all the other methods useless. Well, that is true. The Electra is actually a very late game item. Most new players don't speedrun the game in less than 5 seconds and instead build things and progress gradually. That's where copper rails fit in. Since copper is a lot more common than iron, players would more easily be able to create them in the early game. You see, minecarts are not very fast, and I mean not fast at all, but if they're easier to make in the early game, then I think a lot more players would make them. I know that I certainly would. Currently, it takes 6 iron ingots to make 16 rails. For early game players who haven't yet built any massive farms, that's a pretty steep price for a kind of mediocre item. But if we added copper rails to take their place, it would motivate a lot more players to build rail systems. And we slightly increase the current speed to 12 blocks per second on the copper rail, 18 on iron rails, and 24 on gold powered rails. This would fix a lot of the minecart's current issues and make them cheaper, faster, and more useful. We could also make it so that you don't have to add any redstone power to the copper and iron rails in order to get the maximum speed. You can use redstone to make it automatic or hold W to move, but for gold rails, to achieve the maximum 24 blocks per second speed, you need redstone. If you don't, you'll go to the base speed at 8 blocks per second. There almost aren't any tradebacks to the system. You have faster minecarts while encouraging early game players to use. Although some redstone contraption might be broken, just replacing the rails with copper should fix it. I genuinely would build minecart systems in my world if it was easier to make in the early game. To end off the video, I just want to say how pros almost always forget that the majority of Minecraft player base aren't speedrunners or pro PvPers. They just like to take things slowly and build up a civilization in the world. Adding these rails just helps them create more in the game.